My father, Dalbir Singh Panesar, he had a dream. He used to be in government service, and he always wanted to do something on his own. And he really motivated me to do something productive. Even during holidays, he never used to spare me. Then by the time I did my college, I was sure that I want to do business, and because of his support and guidance, the company was started.
Sheikh and us happened sometime in 2015. The moment he said yes, things started falling in place. A new office, additional resources, my relocation into Bangalore from Bombay, all happened thanks to Sheikh. Sheikh not only mentored and guided me in terms of how I should plan my movement, he was like an elder brother who thought about family, thought about different aspects.
2015 is when Bose was actively looking out for a marketing specialist to sort of help us position our brand, and that's when I got to start interacting with Vishal. He came in for an interview and he got selected, and since then I've known him.
To put it in a nutshell or overall brief about Shamim is she joined Sigma Byte in the year 2015 as an assistant project manager in Bangalore itself. He has handled a pretty large clientele base in the form of VMware, Apple, Juniper sort of projects.
I never honestly took Sheikh seriously during his previous roles. But as he moved forward, he came across as someone who was genuine. His intentions were clean in terms of what he wanted to achieve. While he wanted to make sure that his company profits from our projects, he always wanted to keep that human element going.
Normally, when you interview someone from a marketing profile, the expectation is somebody who is quite flamboyant, who speaks a lot, who's loud. My first reaction when I was interviewing him was, does he fit the bill? Is he going to be able to do justice to it? And believe me, the way he sort of structured the discussion, that completely got us excited. So he had those two faces. One face was a very quiet face, a very introvert one. The other was, a very passionate guy, making sure that the work has to be done to the T. So he was a perfectionist in whatever he got done.
I would say that the overall environment that he used to create in terms of the comfort and the easiness that was there was only because of Shamim. However tough situation, he used to never get tensed. So I used to always tell my other teammates that I think the tagline for Shamim would be service with a smile at the end of the day, and that's what he was basically.
You can be distracted very easily in this world, but he was very focused, and that is what he taught me. He had been my rock solid support, not only a father but a friend, guide, and a philosopher.
The best moments are the moments which are outside of work, when you are probably out on a picnic, on a recreation, or traveling overseas on some assignment. In fact, I have a very interesting story to tell you. We were in Chennai for a prospect, and it so happened that this particular gentleman whom we were supposed to meet was at the construction site, and he was on the 10th floor. Construction sites usually have temporary lifts to take you up and down, and that lift was waiting for this gentleman on the 10th floor. And it so happened that Sheikh told me that, hey, this person is important for us, let's climb 10 floors. And I'm like, we can wait downstairs half an hour, 40 minutes, we'll just wait in our car, let him come down, we'll say hi to him. I said, no, we're climbing up 10 floors and we'll say hi to him there. And we did that. The energy that he used to bring on the table could beat a kid coming out of college.
Vishal was, I would say, quite focused on his work, but he had that funny element also in him. And he used to rarely open up with a lot of people. But I think I was lucky enough. We spent a lot of time traveling, overseas together, attending a lot of business meetings together. So, I really loved his one-liners. That was just stress busters, believe me.
Sheikh was with me a week before on a Monday, and we spent the entire day together. The next day, he had some of his symptoms going up. He was coughing profusely, and we asked him to go back home. And Sheikh was admitted in the hospital, and that's when the news came to me that at around 10 or 9:45 that night, Sheikh suffered cardiac arrest and he passed away.
We were planning our new office inauguration, and he was handling the branding part of it. And then I think about 3-4 days later, I just heard from him that he's not keeping well. Obviously, once the test results came in, it was COVID. I think about 7-8 days after his hospitalization, I just received a call from his father saying that he's no more. We were a very close-knit team, and we were completely shattered hearing this news.
10:30 in the night on May 3rd, I still remember. And that's when my colleague called me and told me that Shamim is having some issues with his health. So I just asked him, what do you mean? I mean, he was all fine. But that's when he interacted with his wife. So she told him that he basically is coughing very badly and is spitting out blood. And that's when it disturbed me a lot, that spitting out blood is something which is not a healthy sign. I only pray to God that he should be coming out of it, because what I understood is it was a peak pandemic time, and he was refused by many hospitals for his early treatment, or even in the terms of getting an ambulance. So his wife literally used to go hospital to hospital in search of hospitals in a rickshaw. Then I think the next day morning, at about early morning 6 o'clock, is when I get a call from the same colleague by the name Noor, telling that Shamim is no more. We couldn't even think that this could happen to a guy like Shamim.
My father, whenever we used to have, when we used to have medical results, his results used to be better. He said, okay, I got a better count than you. What are you doing? You have to look after yourself. And when he had COVID, so his oxygen levels and everything was fine for the first 4 to 5 days. On the 5th day, when it went down, so we were a bit concerned. We had oxygen cylinders at home, and we immediately on the 6th morning, when the oxygen level went down, we gave it to him, and I said, yes, Dad, you will be fine. And when his oxygen level went to 45, I went to him, Dad, would you like to go to the hospital? He said, no, I don't want to go to any hospital. I would like to be here. But looking at him at 45, he stood up, because he didn't want to dirty his sheets. He stood up, and my daughter said, okay, why don't you hold my hand? He said, no, I don't want to hold your hand. He had a stick, he walked to the toilet, and of course I went with the cylinder. When he came back, he said, make me lie down. I put him on the bed, and he just smiled and went.
The real sad story around Sheikh's demise is the fact that he was priming for his elder son's marriage in the month of November last year. He had an exhaustive list of 800 guests that he wanted to invite for the marriage, and he said, I'll make sure that all 800 come. I'll make sure that I'll go to their house, pick them up if they are willing to come. He said, that's the kind of relationship I have with him.
We've grown up together is what we can say. The entire team misses him. We usually, again, while having lunch or while, just on a Teams call, we often, just discuss about him. We still miss him, So it's a big loss, if you ask me, honestly. No words to describe that.
He was very, very, honest about his approach to the customer, telling that this is what I will do, X, Y, Z, this is a time frame I'll do, and this is how I'll commit and complete a project. So that's what was basically liked by many customers. And in fact, they were like, oh, don't tell me that he's no more. I mean, you have lost a wonderful asset.
I always kind of think about what would Sheikh do if he was there with me right now. Will he approach this opportunity immediately? Will he take risk? Will he think long term? That's the kind of mindset not just me, probably most of my colleagues also carry. And for him, it was always thinking long term, having a stable approach towards how we are moving forward. At the same time, making sure that we are putting our best foot forward.
So when I see him, always being there, and I still consider, he is there. And whenever I'm, currently also, if I get into some problem, whatever, I look up to him and think what he would have done at this particular time. And then I try to, understand from his mind that this is the way to proceed, and that is how, he is still guiding me, the light is still guiding me.
6 years is not a small time. We've always obviously learned a lot from him, his experience, his expertise. I myself have learned a lot of tricks of the game in terms of marketing. So we would certainly want to apply all of that, whatever we've learned from him. And yes, he can't be replaced if you ask me. But yes, we can at least try that, we can come close to what he was doing. That I think will be a tribute from our side to Vishal, who's helped us build this brand in India.